When I was first born, I was labeled failure to thrive. Failure to thrive means that they're not sure you're going to make it. When I was born, I lost a lot of weight. So I was born at a fairly normal weight, but then lost so much of it because I wouldn't sustain food. They tried doing like feeding tubes through my nose, but it didn't take. I was actually very small when I was young for a long time. As I started to age, there were different things I didn't do. For example, I didn't speak. I was nonverbal, which was a cue to doctors saying that I did have autism. I just didn't have the words ready. I didn't know what I wanted. By the time I was about 4, I knew what I wanted, I just couldn't say it. My mother is not one to take things lying down. She is a fighter, and that's why she's taught me to be a fighter. And so she looked at me and she knew I could be something amazing. And it took a long time for me to really have that vocabulary. But once I did, as you can tell, I love using my language. I love seeing how language can really change the world. R-E-T-A-R-D. Wait, no, you figure it out. A word that hurts and stings me to my very core. You say it without thinking. It just spills out of your mouth. A lot of reasons that I do poetry, and I do the R word specifically. The R word, for those who do not know, refers to a derogatory term for someone with IDD, which is an intellectual developmental delay, like myself. I wonder if you knew the history behind it, if you would ever say it or think it again. R is for reluctance, reluctantly tied to beds, unknowingly you've done wrong, broken, and sad. I remember going back into class and going up and being like, look, I read this book to some of the kids around, and them taking the book and being like, I can read this in 10 seconds. What's wrong with you? Like, why is it taking you this long to read this book? And I got so upset. I ended up breaking down, having a meltdown, crying, and leaving the book on the bus and being like, well, I'm done. I'm not going to read for fun, because if they're all better at it than me, what's the point? E is for education. Educate what you can, leave the rest behind. T is for torture. Told to the ones you love, you are broken, but you can't be fixed. I grew up with a lot of bullying. I was just put down. I was told I was not good enough. There were many words and many things thrown at me that really changed the way I felt I could be. And so I go to poetry slams, which are kind of competitions. I also go to open mics, which are really fun. And I'll go and read my poetry because I personally feel that I have to read it. And then this friend said to me, well, there's a thing starting here in Colorado called Miss Amazing. It's a pageant. And I went, oh, a pageant. Well, I'm not a beauty queen, so I don't know about that. And again, I went, you know what? It could be a good way to make friends. I'm going to try it. I'm going to be brave. And so I went with another friend and my mother. And the friend that told me about it didn't even come. She couldn't get there. And I was like, oh my gosh, now I feel so alone and I don't know anybody. And I was walking in scared to death. It just created this just amazing opportunity where I didn't just have some local people I was doing things with, but now I could see people from all around the United States. A is for anger, rolling like a steam engine, keeping the future at arm's length. R is for a word rolled up in hate, strung up for you to laugh at. D, distant, dysfunctional, danger. And I ended up winning, which was definitely an experience I will never forget, and also an experience I didn't expect. We have to change the word. Change the word to end the word. R, respect. E, endurance. T, tolerance. A, acceptance. R, responsibility. And D is for decency. Accept and expect respect. Endure life. Give tolerance. I think one of the messages I really want to move and push forward is to know that, first of all, if you have IDD or autism, you are worth it. You are amazing. You be the best you can be, because you really do matter.